What is good, guys? It's Rey-Jay back with another video. And in this one, I want to break down what's happening with SPY, Tesla, Nvidia, the QQQ, and a couple of other tickers. I'm also going to break down what's happening with the overall market moving forward and some very important levels to be watching for, and how the trends are shifting, in my personal opinion, based off what we're seeing. But before I begin the devil's information, before I get into any more details, let me just mention a couple of things. I am firstly not a financial planner, so take nothing I say as financial advice. And also, if you guys can, please check out the Moomoo link, which is down below and in the description. If you sign up for Moomoo, deposit $100, you're guaranteed 7 free stocks. The offer ends very soon, in just about 2.5 weeks. Anyways, for SPY right now, we can see that SPY was pushing very, very nicely into this 522.5 area. It was holding up very, very well, at least from the very beginning. And then we got some data that came out. So at 10 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time, we had Kashkari starting his speech. And then we also got the inflationary expectations report. So you guys can see right here, the 5-year inflationary expectations are showing a 3.1% target. That's above the forecast. And the Michigan inflationary expectations for May are showing 3.5%. That's above expectations as well. Besides that, what's basically happening is for the short term, basically consumers are expecting inflation to go up. And this is a little bit more negative for the markets because there is a lot of risk of that potentially happening, looking at how things were looking in previous data sets. So that was a little bit more negative. And then on top of all of this, we also have more data coming out for May 13th and May 10th. So with all of this data, at least for the last couple of days or for the next couple of days as well, you can see that the majority positions are actually in puts still. We have 516 being max pain, a 1.58 put to call ratio. We currently have over 635,000 puts expiring, and we have close to over 400,000 calls expiring. The majority of people actually have. A lot of people started buying calls, at least as soon as we opened, and now we're starting to see the market shift back down. Max Payne's at 516, so will SPY get a rejection or not? We'll just have to wait and see. But let me just make it very clear that we're showing some weakness right now on the chart. So I warned everyone that as SPY tries to climb, you have to be very careful because the issue is SPY cannot climb forever, and we did see a lot of rejections off 521.5 in the 520 area, at least in the past. So we look back at the chart. Every time we hit this 523 area, 525, SPY did get a rejection and did struggle in these high resistance areas. So right now, we basically went up to about 522.5, rejected a bit. Now we have 520 as our support, close to our 20 EMA. If we end up losing this area, I could see this dipping all the way down towards 518 again. If we lose 520, we're still above 520, holding up decently. So we'll have to see if that holds. And our key resistance is at 521.5. So we'll see how SPY does. But right now, it's been sinking a bit. We'll see if it holds the 20 EMA. And I'm seeing a little bit of weakness on this chart, in my personal opinion. Now, when it comes to other factors and other stocks out there, such as Tesla, I just want to call out that Tesla is also in a very, very interesting place. Basically, Tesla had this resistance right over here. We got a nice push up to about 174. And since then, Tesla ended up getting rejection after some news came out that was negative. We got good news that Tesla wants to invest more in the supercharger network. But the bad news is we're seeing a lot of news involving Germany. We did see a lot of activists kind of storm the Gigafactory as they're against the whole expansion plans. And there's also a lot of news about the layoffs that's been kind of negative for Tesla. So for Tesla, we currently have resistance at 170 and also 172. Our support is in this zone right here, this 168 zone. That's where we have critical support. Tesla's going to be approaching this. If we hold this, we're going to be in a potential support zone. We did bounce off 167 in the past, but if we lose that support and look for 165 or lower, we'll be watching this very, very carefully. But for now, just know that Tesla is in a very, very critical place. We'll have to see how well it holds up right here as we're approaching some key support. And I think that there is a bit more downside potential. SPY is a little bit green. It's actually kind of slowing down, but Tesla's already quite red. So Tesla's looking very weak compared to the markets. And with that happening, that's not the best of news for investors. For Nvidia, I wanted to note, that we have this gap down here to fill. So we're going to likely dip down to about 892 and potentially lose that. So I do see a risk of potential downside for Nvidia as well. And if we lose that, watch 885, then eventually levels all the way down towards 877 as we have our 200 EMA. Resistance, we have basically 896 and eventually 900. In my personal opinion, I wouldn't be surprised if we just continue to dip a little bit more, and I think we will fill this gap and dip a little bit more on Nvidia, at least a bit later on. For the triple Q, it's just like SPY. This attempted to push up. We actually formed a bearish divergence. as we got this pump. Now we're starting to reject. Watch 441 as support. If we lose that, we have 440, then 439, 437. For resistance, we have essentially 441, then eventually 442.5. Overall, guys, I would recommend just being very, very careful with the market right now. We did pump a bit on SPY and the QQQ, but do not forget that overall, the market had some tight resistance, and resistance has caused things to slow down a bit. So we did reject many times at the levels we're currently at least in the past, and we're starting to see history kind of repeating itself. So we'll have to wait and see if we truly get confirmation of that. I want to see SPY lose 520, then 518 to turn more bearish. We haven't really done that yet, so there is still potential for it to hold up, but just know that there is a little bit of weakness as we are at tough resistance. And then for Amazon's dipping a bit. So we went all the way up to about 190. We're kind of coming back down. We hit our support 187. So watch this 187 area. If we lose this, we're going to dip lower. If we hold this, we could rebound. We are looking a little bit weaker. For Meta is also looking a little bit weaker too. We're barely at 470 right now. If we lose that support, we're going to be dipping all the way down towards about 465. So I'm seeing a little bit of weakness and a little bearish divergence on Meta. We did try to break 478. We did test this exactly as predicted. Now we're kind of rejecting. So just be careful. And we're starting to see the market kind of turn. Most stocks are turning red right now. SPY is still barely in the green. So we'll just give it some time and see how things end up going. With that being said, thank you for listening, guys. I'll see you guys very soon on the next one. Have a great day and peace out.